Howdy guys, it's Daryl. It's still Thursday morning. It's about 6:30. I just got back from the gym and I wanted to make a video while it's still fresh in my mind. I mentioned this in an earlier video, talking about I watched an interview with Trey Gowdy. Like I said, I watch everything evenly. I try to watch Fox News, like they say, know your enemy. And this was probably on Fox News. It was an interview with Trey Gowdy, and what he said was something I still heard this morning in the gym from Trump supporters. And let me talk about it a little bit. Um, it's I got this question this morning. Well, if the impeachment is going to end in the Senate, then what's the point? I heard Trey Gowdy say this last night, saying that it's obvious that Democrats are just doing this for retribution, as that because it's just going to die in the Senate and it's pointless. And of course, I don't see this that way at all. I see this just as another tactic from Trump supporters to. I don't think they have much in the way of arguments, as it's. I mean, Trump has admitted his own guilt himself. I mean, it's seen as they don't have a whole lot. They don't have a whole lot of arguing points in their favor. So I think this is one of their favorites. That uh, the Trump supporters in the gym were very riled up this morning, and they're like, "Well, if it's going to end in the Senate, what's the point? Why are they wasting the time?" Now, of course, the way I see it, and the way I think most, I'm not even going to say Democrats or liberals. I'm going to say most Americans, law abiding, working, normal Americans would see it as if somebody breaks the law, if somebody does something unconstitutional, abuses their office, abuses their job, abuses their position, they need to be held accountable to the fullest extent possible, or to the law. I equated it to this. Suppose I killed somebody. Suppose I shot a shopkeeper or something, right? And went to court, and there was a hung jury. I'm not sure. I'm not a legal expert, but or there was a mistrial, something that would end in my not being convicted and not being able to be retried. And so should I not be charged? If I kill somebody and there's a possibility in the future that, well, there might be a mistrial, should I just be like, should they just let me go and not charge me at all? Well, there might be a mistrial. There might be a hung jury. So what's the point? Let him out of jail. What's the point in charging him at all? And that's how I see it. Like I was telling these Trump supporters today, I mean, what do you mean? What's the point? The way they see it, they think it's all about retribution. They assume that our only goal is to get Trump out of office, retribution for 2016, and that is not it at all. It's not it for me, and I don't think it's it for most normal, law-abiding American citizens. The point here is justice. It's to have an honest president. Not just for now, but for the future. If you let a president get away, if you let somebody get away with this now, if you say, well, what's the point? He's just going to, it's just going to be thrown out or voted down in the Senate. What's the point? Then the foundation of our Constitution, of our democracy, is being eroded. And what's that say in the future? It'll tell future presidents, oh, there's a good chance you can get away with this. If the president holds a majority in the Senate, then they can pretty much get away with what they want because they'll be impeached, but they won't be thrown out of office. It's no way to look at things. Like I said, I think one reason Republicans and Trump supporters bring this up is because they don't have much else to argue about. And the other one is they have a misconception of what this is all about, what the impeachment is all about. And that goes back to Trump and his rallies. Just in the rally last night, he kept saying over and over that He keeps telling his supporters that this is all just about retribution, that we all just want to pull him out of office, that we're all angry Hillary supporters. And that's not true. It's just so far. It's just, the majority of us are past that. Like I said in another video, Hillary is inconsequential right now. I voted for her, but right now she's just a normal citizen not running for any office, and she doesn't mean much more to me than any other citizen at this point. They have they have the wrong view of. They don't even. This is the troubling thing, is they don't even understand. This is about justice. This is about holding the president accountable to the laws of the land, to the laws of his office, that he can't get away with abusing his office for his own personal gain. What you have then, you're heading towards a dictatorship. You're heading towards a king. That's the purpose of this impeachment, is to go through the process of holding him accountable for his abuse of power, plain and simple. It has nothing to do with 2016. It has nothing to do with retribution. Like I said, if we were to turn a blind eye to this, like almost all the Republicans are, I think they just see the short term. Well, their president, their man will get away with it, and he'll get voted in 2020, and everything will be great. They don't seem to see the long picture, the long view, that by doing this, it's hurting everybody. You're eroding the foundation of our democracy. In the future, that means a Democratic president will be able to abuse his office. Or probably, if they get away with it now, it'll set a precedent, a legal precedent. And like I said, it'll start to erode the very foundation of our democracy. I'm sure if Trump supporters heard me saying this, they'd probably just, they wouldn't get it. I think a lot of it too is they think I've always said, I was hoping this isn't true, but I've always seen Trump supporters as very angry. It seems like, I feel like a lot of them just voted for Donald Trump out of spite. That they didn't like Hillary, so they were going to vote for this unlikable person just to teach the system a lesson. And that's the way they came. A lot of them came. I don't want to stereotype them all, of course, but that's the way they came across to me, as being very spiteful. And to me, it seems like a lot of them, they voted and then they washed their hands of it, and they just, Trump in their eyes is the same Trump with the campaign promises and the rallies, and that's all they see, and they replay that over and over in their head, and they don't pay any attention to the untruths, the lies, the exaggerations, the stuff he's passing, these like trying to wipe out Obama's legacy just for spite. Another one, just for spite. Like the school lunches, Michelle Obama, was making school lunches more healthy, less salt, less fat, which we have an obesity problem in this country. We have a lot of people dying of heart problems. It's a great idea. And Trump actually overturned that. Why? Because it was Obama's. Because that's all. Even though it'd be good for Americans in the long run, he just wants to erase Obama's legacy. And that's troubling. That's not somebody that has America or us in their best interest. This is a spiteful, small, petty person. And that's what I see. And I see a lot of that in Trump supporters. They assume that we think just like they do, that we're just doing this out of spite because we're angry. And that's not it at all. Like I said, it's a somber day. I don't think you'll see people rejoicing or partying. Yay, Trump got impeached. You won't see that. It's a stain on the country. It means we elected somebody that let us down. We made a bad choice. We elected somebody who abused the office. It's not a joyous day. It's not at all. And I don't think Trump supporters even understand this. A lot. Now, I'm not going to say all of them. Like I say, again, I'm trying to learn not to stereotype, especially lately. Thanks again to my buddy Bo. But yeah, it's a somber day. And the reason for this impeachment is not just to get Trump out of office. That's not it at all. The reason for this impeachment is to hold him accountable for his abuse of power. Plain and simple. And to uphold our democracy, to uphold our laws, so we don't deteriorate the very foundation of our Constitution, which is what would happen if we ignored this, if we let it go, which is exactly what these Republicans are doing now, just for votes, just to stay in office. They're turning a blind eye. You can't tell me that all Republicans believe that he's innocent and he should be let go. If this was a Democratic president, I guarantee every single one of those same Republicans would be voting for impeachment. So what you have here is hypocrisy. You have greed. You have people that aren't interested at all in our what they were put in there for our business, for our benefit, for our doing the business of the people. It's a sad day overall. It is. The third time in history, president has been held accountable for high crimes and misdemeanors. So the Trump supporters, this is why. Even though it won't go through the Senate, this is why we want this impeachment, is to uphold law, to hold him accountable for his misdeeds, for his abuse of power. Plain and simple. There's your answer. All right? Have a good day.